Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. My name is Chris Drago. I am a creative director, fashion designer, brand owner. I run a brand called Pathos of Things. And in today's video, I'm going to break down a pitch deck that I made for the brand Skims, which is Kim Kardashian's shapewear brand. I made this deck as part of the interview process for a creative agency in New York City. I'm not affiliated with Skims in any way, but if someone from Skims sees this video and wants to work, feel free to send me a DM or leave a comment. My idea with this deck is to expand Skims into Asia. Why do I want to expand Skims into Asia? Well, honestly, I think Skims Asia expansion is obvious. The US shapewear market is projected to grow by $270 million between 2024 and 2028. With a CAGR of 8%. The Asia-Pacific shapewear market is expected to reach $816 million by 2028, growing at a CAGR of 8.5% from 2021 to 2028. Asia has an affinity for technical fabrics. For example, Uniqlo is a global success, and that started in Japan. Rising disposable income in target markets, China, South Korea, Japan, Singapore. Skims' neutral color palette and minimalist aesthetic is already aligned with Asian design sensibilities. The Kardashian awareness exists in Asia without the Kardashian fatigue that you see in America, which is, in my opinion, the perfect exposure level. And there's no dominant Pan-Asian shapewear player yet. The Skims Asia expansion all starts in Tokyo. Japan is a global hub for fashion and cultural influence. Skims' expansion aligns with Tokyo's affinity for minimalism, layering, and elevated basics. The Japanese concept of shibui, or subtle beauty, aligns with Skims' approach to minimal yet sensual designs. And the market is ready for it. Japanese brands like Sacai Undercover, Issey Miyake, and Uniqlo have mastered soft tailoring and layering, perfectly complementing Skims' DNA. The big picture play is getting global distribution throughout Asia via another brand's expansive network, which I'll explain on the next slide. But Japan is where the seed is planted. The big idea, Skims and Uniqlo, Airform. Skims Sculpt with Uniqlo Comfort. This is an original concept that I made, and all of the images you'll see on these slides were generated by me with Midjourney, which is an amazing AI image generation tool. Skims x Uniqlo Airform is a limited edition performance shapewear collection, combining Skims' signature sculpting fits with Uniqlo's Airism fabric technology, designed for breathability, functionality, and second skin comfort. It's performance wear for everyday life, made out of hyper-functional fabrics that wick moisture while sculpting. And there's minimal branding, so the design speaks for itself. I think Skims x Uniqlo makes sense because the minimalist aesthetic and neutral color palette applies to both brands. Both brands prioritize clean, wearable design. The pieces are comfortable and functional. Skims' seamless bodywear meets Uniqlo's fabric innovation. Pan-Asian distribution dominance. Uniqlo's retail network in Japan, Korea, and China gives Skims instant visibility in Asia's biggest fashion markets. Uniqlo is viewed as an affordable basics brand, and Skims' cool factor enhances Uniqlo's fashion credibility in the West. Price points are also compatible. Both brands are luxury adjacent without being prohibitively expensive. Here are some more images that I mocked up. This is a mock-up of the Airform bodysuit, ultra lightweight, shaping bodysuit with the Airism integration from Uniqlo's Airism tech. Expanding the product line, I came up with second skin layering tops and leggings. These are breathable and sleek under any outfit. Minimalist Japanese styling meets Skims' signature neutral tone silhouettes. Tokyo streetwear meets soft shapewear. It's futuristic but simple, breathable, weightless, and skin-like. Phase 1 of the Asia expansion for Skims begins with a teaser campaign for the pre-launch. Minimalist high-fashion teaser images featuring lightweight fabric movements. Taglines could include Skims Sculpt, Uniqlo Comfort. We'll build buzz with influencers, top-tier Japanese and Korean fashion creators style the collection their way. And we'll create TikTok and IG Reels. Influencers receive cryptic Airform packaging, and then they do unboxing, or they make little teaser videos to build hype. Here are two high-quality campaign images that I can see as either billboards or used for social media marketing. I have the tagline here, "Something soft is coming to Tokyo," Uniqlo x Skims. with some beautiful minimalist photography. Phase 2 is the Tokyo flagship activation. The objective here is to establish Skims and Uniqlo as a luxury meets functionality collaboration within Japan specifically. I'm thinking an in-store installation at a flagship store in Tokyo, so either the Ginza or Shinjuku flagship stores, where they host a limited time pop-up with exclusive in-person products, VIP styling appointments where customers can experience the fabric technology firsthand at the store, and then there will be media events hosted by fashion influencers at the flagship store. This is how I envision the retail space to look. It's a Tadao Ando inspired retail space where Japanese restraint meets Kardashian maximalism in an unexpectedly coherent way. The bonsai trees against concrete creates a perfect metaphor for natural forms contained by structured design, which is literally what shapewear does. For the in-person events, I'm thinking of tapping these influencers. I think it's important to avoid typical Kardashian adjacents because the whole point is cultural exchange, not cultural imposition. Japanese influencers with global reach are going to be more influential and have a higher impact than Western influencers with Japanese aspirations. So the first two obvious picks for me are Yoon and Verbal. They are the founders of Ambush. They bridge the luxury and streetwear gap perfectly, but I think it's really important to hire both of them. Yoon is the face of the brand, so oftentimes people assume that she is the only one involved, but I think hiring Yoon without Verbal could come off as like a dumb Westerner thinking that Yoon is the only one, or that, they only know Yoon, but they're a creative partnership, so I think it's extremely important that they're both involved in the scene at the events. Next is Mitsuki. She's a Japanese it girl. She has an architectural aesthetic and literally looks like she lives in a Tadao Ando house. Next is Chriselle Lim. She's a Korean American influencer. I think she's the perfect demographic bridge. Then Kiko Mizuhara. She's a model actress, Japanese American with a very large following. And then Atushi Nakashima, who is not an influencer per se, but his architectural approach to clothing makes him relevant. Phase 3 is the e-commerce drop. So the Airform clothes will be sold exclusively via skims.com and uniqlo.jp, which is the e-commerce sites for both brands respectively. I think having a digital waitlist with early access drops to drive hype is going to be really important. Here are some e-com photography concepts that I came up with, and these would live on the e-commerce websites. Next, for social strategy, I'm thinking scalable organic content with supplementary paid ads. TikTok, UGC driven or user generated content driven, with taglines like the lightest sculpt ever. Influencers and users show off the weightless feel by dropping the Airform pieces over their hands. High engagement can be achieved through it feels like nothing but sculpts everything challenges, which can apply to influencers of various sizes, weight, height, etc. Next, for Instagram, I'm thinking a combination of editorial and UGC. So editorial being a very high quality imagery, something that looks like it belongs in a magazine, and then UGC is user generated content, so more influencer and candid style content. Sleek monochrome styling posts and reels featuring movement, breathability, and functionality. And then I'm imagining YouTube behind the scenes videos, so more long form style content like why Skims chose Uniqlo, which explains the science behind the Airform fabrics, interviews with Kim Kardashian and Uniqlo's design team, and a made-for-movement video series showcasing why Airform fabrics outperform competitors. Phase 4 is to systemize and expand. The objective here is to transform Skims x Uniqlo from a limited drop into an Asia-Pacific retail powerhouse. So after that initial e-commerce drop and the flagship activation, the line expands to Uniqlo locations in Korea, China, and Southeast Asia. Then that opens up the possibility to introduce core Airform pieces as permanent staples in Uniqlo's lineup. Localized influencer and marketing efforts per country is going to be really important. And then this whole thing can be followed up with an Airform Everyday campaign, which positions the shapewear as the next evolution of daily essentials. So what's the business impact? Why does this win for Skims and Uniqlo? And I redacted the name of the agency, but in this case, I was making this for a creative agency, so they would have been involved. For Skims, it expands into Asia's massive fashion markets. It establishes credibility in performance-driven shapewear, and it will be the first high-functionality collab that isn't just about aesthetics, it's about innovation. For Uniqlo, it brings in a trendy younger audience who already follows Skims, reinforces Airism's technology as industry-leading, and the cross-brand visibility will be huge in US and European markets. For a marketing agency pitching this deck, it can drive massive launch day engagement with a Tokyo first, then Pan-Asia strategy, creates retail excitement through physical activations before scaling globally, fits the agency's performance marketing model with a structured rollout that maximizes social ads and influencer buzz, establishes Uniqlo as a long-term Skims collaborator rather than a one-off drop, and lands Uniqlo and Skims as potential long-term clients. Thank you, my name is Chris Drago. All images were generated with AI using Midjourney, but they are original concepts. If you'd like to access this deck for free and connect with me, feel free to join my free school community, the Fashion Brand Vault. The link is in the description. We have over 500 members now. It's growing very quickly. It's full of awesome brand owners and creative directors. I look forward to seeing you in there, and be on the lookout for the next video. Thank you.